A lot of fiery exchanges last night on the debate stage, but what do the voters think of the candidates' performance? Let's ask pollster Lee Carter. She's a partner at Mislansky & Partners, and she's live in Farmville, Virginia, and she just put last night's debate to the dial test. Lee, good morning. Good to see you.
Great to see you. All
right. I always love this part of the show. Let's start with this. Mike Pence on Hillary's private server. Let's take a listen.
It's important in this moment to remember that Hillary Clinton had a private server in her home that had classified information on it about drone strikes. Emails from the President of the United States of America were on there. Her private server was subject to being hacked by foreign powers.
I'd like to ask you about Syria.
We could put cybersecurity first if we just make sure the next Secretary of State doesn't have a private server.
Investigation concluded that not one reasonable prosecutor would take any additional step. You don't get to decide the rights and wrongs of this. We have a justice system that does that, and a Republican FBI director did an investigation and concluded.
All right, we are moving on now.
Senator, if your son or my son handled classified information the way Hillary Clinton did, they'd be court-martialed.
Wow, those dials all over the place, even off the screen at one point.
That's right. So you can see that independents were the story of the night. So Republicans, not surprisingly, gave this an A. Democrats gave it an F. Independents also an A. They were right along with Pence, and what they said is he really hit on those concerns about the server in a way that reminded them of why they weren't so sure about Hillary Clinton.
All right, so then there was this heated exchange, both between Kaine Pence on Ronald Reagan and nuclear proliferation. Let's listen to this.
Let me tell you what will really make the Middle East dangerous. Donald Trump's idea that more nations should get nuclear weapons. Saudi Arabia, Japan, South Korea. Ronald Reagan said something really interesting about nuclear proliferation back in the 1980s. He said the problem with nuclear proliferation is that some fool or maniac could trigger a catastrophic event. And I think that's who Governor Pence's running mate is, exactly who President Reagan warned us about.
Senator, that was even beneath you and Hillary Clinton, and that's pretty low.
Lee, what was the grade here?
Yeah. So you can see Kaine did not do that well. It was Democrats, they gave him a B. Independents and Republicans gave him an F. Pence here, though, independents and Republicans really liked his response, and they basically said they put him in his place. And they felt that Kaine really was a little sensationalist in his comments, and they felt like he overdid it.
Yeah, right. So as we've been saying, a lot of insults all around last night, but last night Kaine was talking about Trump's insults during the campaign. Let's listen to that.
Donald Trump during this campaign has called Mexicans rapists and criminals. He's called women slobs, pigs, dogs, disgusting. I don't like saying that in front of my wife and my mother. If you want to have a society where people are respected and respect laws, you can't have somebody at the top who demeans every group that he talks about. And I cannot believe that Governor Pence will defend the insult-driven campaign that Donald Trump has run.
Democrats seem to love that. Republicans seem to hate it.
That's right. Democrats gave it an A. Independents, though, look at those independents. So important. Independents and Republicans both gave this an A. What they said was that these sounded like prepared sound bites, but they were taken way out of context.
Yeah, you're right. Independence is exactly where we should be looking. So speaking of insults, Mike Pence on Hillary's comment of the basket of deplorables. Here's what he said last night on that.
He says ours is an insult-driven campaign. Did you all just hear that? Ours is an insult-driven campaign? I mean, to be honest with you, if Donald Trump had said all the things that you said he said in the way you said he said them, he still wouldn't have a fraction of the insults that Hillary Clinton leveled when she said that half of our supporters were a basket of deplorables. She said they were irredeemable. They were not America. I mean, it's extraordinary.
Speaking of independents, they seem to love that moment.
They sure did. Republicans and independents both gave this an A, while Democrats gave it an F. There's a lot of folks out there saying that Pence did not do a good enough job defending Donald Trump. Independents completely disagreed, and what they said is many of these comments that Donald Trump has made were completely neutralized, and they felt it was a fair point that Hillary is playing just as dirty as Donald Trump.
So interesting. Love these dial tests. Lee Carter, good to see you this morning. Thanks for being here.